All right, so we should be live. Awesome. Glad to see a lot of people showing up already. It's going to be awesome. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm just going to be answering questions for 30 minutes to like an hour maybe, and then, depending on how things go. So glad to see the big turnout already 300 people watching live. Is dropshipping a job life? Honestly, kind of. You have to work a lot. It's not like passive income, that's for sure. How many stores do you have? So right now I'm running 3 stores, but to be honest with you guys, I mainly focus on one at a time. So I've got 3 stores that are active and getting sales, but I'm putting all my energy into one at a time. Are you first getting social proof on an ad before you optimize for purchase? Yeah, so I'll start off all my ads with PPE. So I'll run PPE first, and then I'll usually build a lookalike audience from the PPE. So like 95% video viewers or something like that, and then switch to purchase conversions. And I'll leave the PPE running because if you have a lot of engagement on your ad, Facebook likes that and you can get lower CPMs. Best one product store theme. I would probably say debut theme. I go with debut theme for almost all my stores. So like a lot of people think debut theme looks like spammy just because it's the default theme. But the truth is that like if Shopify made it the default theme, it's because they optimized it for conversions, right? They know it's super optimized. And so the debut theme is extremely optimized. You just need to customize it a bit. You can change the typography or add custom images, things like that. Do you do personal coaching? I don't, unfortunately. Sorry, guys. How many creatives do you test? I'll usually test at least 3 creatives when I'm testing a new product. And then over the course of like one store, I'll have tested dozens, like 20 plus creatives at least. How would you go about selling a $79 product? That's a little bit more expensive. So it might be difficult to just get people to buy it just off cold traffic, off, an impulse buy. So you might need to, you need to go heavy on the retargeting. So maybe have like a video and then, just explaining what your product does, getting awareness about your product, and then heavily retarget those video viewers and then funnel them down to maybe the product page. And you can do pre-sale engagement pages as well. That can work well. You just need to do a lot more retargeting with higher ticket products, I would say. How many stores have you had in total so far? I think 5 or something like that. All right, let me just try to catch some questions. There's a lot of questions here. What's your experience with view content and add to cart conversions? In my experience, you get lower quality traffic. I think that's how Facebook works. It really categorizes its traffic based on the actions that they're likely to take. So if you optimize for view content, you're getting lower quality traffic than if you optimize for purchase. And that's also why if you optimize for view content, you're going to get clicks and traffic way cheaper, but it's not going to convert. And if you optimize for purchases, it's going to be expensive, but that's because it's the traffic that actually purchases. So will you continue to add content to your course? Yes, definitely. So as soon as I start getting some initial feedback about the course, I'm going to add some content. And it is a case study based course. So, I'm mainly going to focus on adding content relevant to that case study. So if there's stuff that you guys think I missed, I left out, or that I should have went more in depth on, then I'm going to record some content and add it to the course. Yeah, for sure. Can you talk about manual bidding? Yeah, sure. So manual bidding, I would say that it's useful if you want to scale really aggressively. So a lot of people want to just look at manual bidding as a miracle solution when their ads aren't doing well. And that's definitely not what manual bidding should be for. So it's more like when you have something that's doing really well, then you want to scale aggressively. So you could duplicate to a much higher budget, like $1,000 a day or something, and then use manual bidding to make sure that Facebook doesn't blow through all your budget in like a stupid way. Because when you have a really large budget, Facebook is going to have to bid a lot more aggressively to spend it all. And so it might bid like crazy amounts sometimes, which will just get you terrible results. So putting that bid cap is going to help sort that out. Thoughts on targeting Instagram stories with picture ads? It depends on the type of product. Like there's a lot of products that just wouldn't work well for that, but Instagram stories are definitely underrated as a placement. What up, Gabriel? Do you cover Instagram influencer in the course? Yeah, I do cover that a bit. I show you some examples that I did with the store from the case study. So yeah, I do cover that. There's a whole module on it actually. So can we use what you teach in your course for a narrowed down niche store? Yeah, for sure. I'm going to say that again. When I say one product store, a lot of people think that I mean like just one product. And a lot of the time when I say one product store, there's going to be a few other products. Like the store from the case study, there's a few other products on the store, but I just focus on one product. But I mean, you can definitely use it with a niche store as well. Yeah. Isn't it better to use ClickFunnels for one product stores? Yeah, a lot of people think so. You can get good conversion rates if you build like a very optimized funnel. I have no problem using Shopify. I like building kind of a brand around it. And I think that funnels are they kind of look spammy in a way. Like they convert really well, but they're kind of, I don't know. I prefer building a proper store and making it look like a real brand. Like my biggest inspiration for my stores is definitely High Smile. They have an amazing setup with like one product brand type of thing, and that's what I try to replicate. Do you use 3x CPP manual bidding? Yeah, so that's usually what I'll start out. I'll start at 2 to 3 times the cost per purchase, and then on there you want to bring it down. So you want to bring down the bid cap as much as you can without like hurting the delivery of the ad spend. So basically, like if you lower the bid cap too much, it's going to stop spending. So you want to lower it gradually as much as you can without it altering how much you're spending. You don't want it to slow down your spending too much, but you want to bring down the bid cap. With how much money did you start? I started with like less than $500 actually back in 2017 with my first brand, Beauty Charcoal. I talk about this in one of my videos. Yeah, like I started off with Instagram influencer promotions, and that's why I recommend them for starting out, because you can start out with like really little budget. And I mean, I kind of want to say I got lucky because my first product was the charcoal teeth whitening. I tested that when people like didn't really know about it. And so, I mean, I was able to spend like $50 on some promos and get like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 back sometimes. And so cash flow wasn't a problem at the start. And then with that first success, I was able to finance my other stores. How many hours of content is in the course? So right now there's a little over 5 hours, I think. And a lot of people might think that's a little short compared to other courses, which is fair. But the reason why it's a little bit shorter is that everything is case study based. And so, I don't go super in depth in the theory because I already do that on my channel. So I just show you real examples. I teach everything by showing real examples, and that's a lot faster than explaining all the theory. And so it's a little shorter, but it's very value packed. Google Ads in the course. So I don't have a specific module for it because in the case study, I didn't use Google Ads that much. There is one video on Google Ads because I did use Google Ads a little bit, and I show you how I was able to get like 6 or 7 times return on ad spend on like 11K spent on Google Ads. So I was able to spend 11K and make back like 70K or something. And I show you that in the course. What's the price of the course? So the price is going to be $297. That's the regular price. But if you join the waitlist, and the waitlist link is going to be in the description, if you join the waitlist, I'm going to give you a $100 discount for the first 24 hours. And that's the lowest you'll ever see the course at. That's the lowest price you'll ever see it at for sure. Are you starting a course because you don't make enough in your stores now? That's a fair question, but no, that's not why. I'm starting a course because, first of all, I want to show you guys this case study. I'm proud of it, and I think it'll be really helpful. But if I reveal a store publicly, like it ruins my retargeting audiences, and everyone copies it. Like that's what I did with Beauty Charcoal. I revealed Beauty Charcoal, and I couldn't retarget on Facebook anymore after that because I would just retarget you guys who check out the website. So yeah, so that's the first reason. The second reason is that obviously there's a lot of demand for courses. A lot of people want, so like I can help people, and there's a lot of demand. I can make a lot of money with it. So I'm an entrepreneur. Obviously, I'm going to take advantage of the demand and release something. But it's not because I don't make enough money with drop shipping. It's just taking advantage of an opportunity. What countries do you target marketing? I target e-packet countries usually, but usually it'll just be like the main 4 countries: the US, Canada, UK, and Australia. The majority of the sales would come from that. But I target e-packet countries when I'm first starting out. How do you remain so driven and focused? Consistency would be my biggest tip. Like, don't try to make it all happen in like a week. Don't get too excited about making things happen super quick. Like I'm going to become a millionaire next month or something like that. Just focus on doing the thing that you need to be doing right now consistently every day, and you get to you accomplish big things by just staying consistent. How is affiliate marketing for you? It's tough. It's tough. There's not that many good offers. Like affiliate marketing, like the way that I do it now is a lot easier. Like when you have a personal brand and you have a skill that people want to learn from you, you can promote a lot of things. Like for example, I can promote Shopify partners, and that's pretty good affiliate revenue. I also promote eCom Hunt a little bit, so you can make that's revenue from affiliate marketing. But yeah, it's not the easiest business. I can say that. You plan on doing Shopify long term? 100%. That's like my long term vision is starting it's not just Shopify dropshipping, it's starting like a real proper e-commerce brand. Like I'm definitely in e-commerce for the long term. Dropshipping is kind of like a stepping stone, and then I want to build a proper brand, and I'm already working on that. But I really want to take things to the next level, and then eventually sell that brand for, you know, a nice lump sum. Sorry. How do you handle charging taxes? This depends on where you're from. For me, I have to charge taxes to Canadians, so that's what I do. Do you recommend starting a phone cases store? No, not particularly. That's definitely not something I would do. I always recommend problem-solving products. I mean, I guess technically a phone case solves a problem, but that's not really what I mean. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do phone cases. Talk about private label. Sure. So, I mean, private label, great. You know, I mean, it's great. I think it's one of the best things you can do right now to differentiate yourself. There's a lot of competition right now in drop shipping. And so, I mean, what you can do with private labels, you can take a product that's already like super saturated and you can just private label it. And then that people will think that it's a different product, right? So like, it's one great way to differentiate yourself. And it's really not that hard. I made a video, like my last video is about private labeling. And I show you how you can private label without having like a third-party fulfillment center, just using a dropshipping agent. It's not that hard, and it'll definitely help you differentiate yourself. Talk about the apps you use. I use quite a few. I don't really want to talk about that. Will this stay as a video? Yeah, I'm going to post it as a video probably. Do you spend any of your money or do you reinvest everything? So I don't spend a lot of my money. I'm not like a guy, I'm not all about showing off or anything like that. Like I said, I'm all in it for the long term. So I just save up a lot. I leave most of the money that I make in my business, because if you take the money out from business to your personal side, that's when you start paying a lot of taxes. So, I mean, I leave all the business in my corporation. I have a Canadian corporation. And I'm just trying to long term. I want to grow that. I want to grow my business with investments and things like that. So, I mean, no, I'm not all about spending. Talk about the legal side of drop shipping. The legal side of drop shipping. Well, I mean, that really depends on where you're from. So, how did you manage eCom and engineering at McMaster right now for Eng? So that's a good question. It's tough, man. Like, it's really tough. To be honest, I really didn't have any free time back when I was still in school. Yeah, so I would just like, I would go, I didn't go to class much, to be honest. I worked more on the business than I did on class. And then I would, when exams came up for class, I would just like focus on like grinding everything out in 2 days and then passing that exam and then back to eCom. And yeah, I mean, it's to tell you a little story about that. Actually, when I was in school, I had pretty good results with eCom. So I was able to get to like, 6 figures a month eventually in net sales. I mean, in gross sales, then in net profit, about 20% of that. And so everything was going well. But as soon as I decided to drop out and I decided to focus like 100% on eCom, that's when I started, my results started exploding. I started getting a lot better results by just focusing 100% on eCom. So I'm not saying drop out, but I am saying that if you commit 100% to something, you're going to get a lot better results than if it's kind of like a plan B, What do you think of EU versus USA? I think that you can make a lot of money if you target. That's a good strategy that not a lot of people talk about, is creating stores for individual countries. So maybe creating a store, for example, like for France only, or for Denmark only, or for Norway only. Countries that have like a high GDP per capita and that have a relatively large population, you can build a store in their language and then target only them, and you'll get crazy conversion rates. You can get conversion rates above like 10%. And those, like if you target a country that has a high GDP per capita, you can charge a lot more. Like you can, for the, like versus what you would charge for a product in the US, you can like double that. And so you'll have a lot better margins and good conversion rates, and there's less competition. So it's a win-win. Are you in Montreal? I'm in Toronto right now. No, so not in Montreal, but I've been in I was born in Montreal actually, and I like Montreal. A lot of my family lives there. Do you have a mentor before you got started doing all of this? Someone who helped you get to this level? I have like a lot of mentors if you consider like YouTube and blogs and stuff. Like I got started just by reading a lot of blogs. I tell that story a lot, but I didn't take any courses or anything like that. I just read a ton of blogs. And I mean, the best mentor is honestly learning from your competition too. Like a lot of the time there's no better way to learn than just reverse engineering finding a successful example of what you're trying to do, and then reverse engineering it and then replicating it with your own business. That's what I pretty much did. So learn from analyzing what other people are doing. That's what I would say. But now I have a lot of, I have a large network now, just thanks to this personal brand and stuff. And so, I mean, I do get a lot of advice from a lot of friends and mentors alike. So what bank do you use in Canada to do wire transfers? I use RBC, and I have a US dollar bank account, so I don't have to convert to Canadian dollars all the time. LLC in Ontario. So I don't have an LLC. I have a corporation. It's the equivalent in Canada. So that's how my business is set up. What blogs do you read? This really depends on what you want to learn. There's a lot of different blogs for like a lot of specific topics, right? So it depends what you're trying to learn. Like on YouTube, you have like these guys like me who are kind of, they have a wide set of skills, and they're good at overall how to, we know how to build e-commerce businesses. But if you want to learn something very specific, like if you want to learn Facebook advertising, truthfully, the best place probably isn't from me. It's from Facebook ads experts. There's some crazy experts. Alex Fetidov is amazing, completely underrated too. Like the guy's generated like 100 million or something in sales on Facebook, and his videos get like 100 views or something. There's also Depeche Mandalia, amazing Facebook ads marketer. So that's what I would recommend. It really depends what you want to learn on. Like just use Google. Google is a tool that a lot of people undervalue. They don't take advantage of it. Should I use PayPal without having a company? That's a tough one. I don't really know. I mean, I've only used PayPal with a company, like a business PayPal account. Was Beauty Charcoal your first Shopify store? It was my first drop shipping store. It wasn't my first Shopify store because it was on WooCommerce, but yeah, my first drop shipping store. Yeah. How do you target a general product for adults over 30 years old? I mean, you could just target adults over 30 years old, right? That's one place you could start. You could literally just target all e-packet countries, adults over 30 years old, and then start narrowing down with like the breakdown tool. And you could also just do lookalike audiences. Alex Fetidov. I don't really know how to say it properly, but you should be able to find it. Alex Fetodoff. Can you give your opinion on Amazon FBA? I think Amazon FBA is an amazing business model, especially if you do like private labeling. But I think it's extremely competitive. Like I think the barrier to entry is higher than like drop shipping. And so you're dealing with like high caliber guys, like people who have a lot of money, who have like established teams. And like it's tough. It's tough. That's what I've heard at least. So like if you manage to get your product ranked for like a certain keyword and you're like number one for a certain product, you're going to make a lot of money, and it's all autopilot. You don't have to do ads. You don't have to do anything, but it's extremely competitive. People are always going to try to like outrank you. And so that's what usually happens. And it's all about it's all about search engine optimization, Amazon. And so you have to like constantly get reviews and stuff. Gabriel, how to reduce shipping times? That's a good question. You can reduce shipping times by either setting up third-party fulfillment centers. So like you could start shipping out of the US with like ShipBob. That's what I did for Beauty Charcoal. And then the shipping times were like under a week. And so that helps a lot for like customer retention and customer satisfaction in general. Another thing you can do is you can use a drop shipping agent out of China, and they have different shipping methods than just ePacket. And so you can get something slightly faster. So that's what I typically do if I want to ship out of China. Gabriel, favorite books? That's a great question. I actually really like books. Favorite book I would say is The Slight Edge. The Slight Edge. It's an amazing book. It's kind of like a self-help book, but it's really about consistency. That's what it comes down to. And it talks about how if you can do small consistent actions over and over again over time, you can get massive results. And I attribute a lot of my success to that book. I mean, it just taught me a lot about consistency. And a good example is with this YouTube channel, right? Like I just set the goal to put one video a week. That's all I did. I didn't run ads. I said, all right, I'm going to do one video a week without fail. And that's what I've been doing. And, the results clearly show off. Shipping times for EU countries is like 2-3 weeks. I'm targeting those countries. I think targeting those countries isn't an option. You can get faster shipping times than that. Like if you use a drop shipping agent, you can use Unexpress, and like Unexpress is pretty fast to Europe countries. Like it's under 2 weeks. So Um, your ads sell $2,000 in a day, then $500 in the next day for a week. What would you do? That's a very specific question. What I would do is I would go back to the drawing board, figure out what went wrong. So figure out if it's the product or if it's I need better ads or something, because something obviously went wrong. Facebook, the learning phase, the way that a learning phase works is that for the first few days when it starts gathering conversions, it starts testing a bunch of different things, and it sees if the audience is reacting well, if the audience actually converts. And if it sees that the audience doesn't convert, then it's going to stop showing it. And that's often why some people see a lot of results in the first few days, and then it completely drops off. Do you speak French? Yes, French is my first language, but now I speak English all the time now. So I speak French better now. I mean English now. I speak English better now, I would say. What was the name of the shipping method? It's called Unexpress. Do you like Sam Ovens? Yeah, I like Sam Ovens. I actually I get targeted by his ads all the time, and I actually enjoy watching them. So that's how you know he's doing a good job. He's a really, really smart guy. There's a lot to learn from that guy. He's really high level though. If you want to, Sam Ovens is all about becoming a multi-millionaire, and it's if you really want to take things to the next level. It's not everyone. Not everyone has that kind of ambition, nor should they. So, any courses on Facebook ads you recommend? I haven't taken that many courses, so I can't really recommend anything. How much time are you dedicating to scaling in your course? I would say maybe above an hour and a half, maybe. Gabriel, any product you would recommend to brand? That's a tough one, man. I don't know right now on top of my head. How long do your products usually last before they die out? Usually 6 months to a year. But honestly, the goal is to have them not die out, and that's what I'm working on. That's what you should be working on. If you're doing pure drop shipping, they're gonna die out. But if you can actually private label and then start actually getting custom products, that's the next step after private labeling. Private labeling is step 1. And then step 2 is actually getting something custom about your product, changing something like the formula or the design, or making it more unique, actually having a unique value proposition, and then you can build a real long-term brand. That's what all of the very successful one product brands do. High Smile, for example, they started out with a standard teeth whitening kit from Alibaba, but now they've refined the ingredients. They've got organic ingredients, a unique proprietary formula and everything. So it allows them to really solidify their uniqueness, and it allows them to stand out. So that's what I would do. Thoughts on Ari Sherson? I love Ari, man. He's a great friend of mine, and super honest, transparent guy. So how's Beauty Charcoal doing right now? Not so hot. I haven't been focusing on it at all. It's getting $200-300 a day in sales just from all the past work that I've done, and I've got ambassadors talking about it. So it's not that bad, but definitely not crazy results. I haven't been focusing on. I haven't done ads for it in months. Customer service. Can you give us some advice? Best advice would be don't cheap out on your VAs. Get good VAs. Don't hire anyone for $3 an hour or something like that, because you get what you pay for. And that's the best advice. And structure it properly. I use Zendesk to properly structure it. And in the case study in the course that I'm launching tomorrow, I show you exactly how I do that. I give you copy and paste templates, and I show you exactly how I set it up for my own stores. So What are you working on now? I'm working on a new private label brand. It's doing quite well, actually. And right now I've scaled it down a bit. It's doing $3K a day right now because Chinese New Year. I prepared some stock ahead of time, but the method that I use, which is Unexpress, the shipping method, Unexpress, it's closed until the 10th or something. And so I'm just scaling down until it comes back up. Price for the course. So the course is going to be $297 regular pricing. But if you join the waitlist, it's going to be the link in the description. If you join the waitlist, you're going to get a $100 discount for the first 24 hours, and that's going to be exclusive to only the waitlist. And then after that, it's going to be $297. And I'm probably going to increase the price over time, because as I get feedback from the initial course members, I'm going to add content. And so the course is going to be better. And there's also going to be a lot of members, and I don't want too many members in the course, so that, the methods don't get oversaturated or whatever. So the price will be increasing over time. So make sure to join the waitlist. Um, will headphones work? Again, not my type of product. I recommend problem-solving products. Headphones don't really solve a problem. So, apart from yourself, who would you recommend to watch on YouTube for advanced Facebook ads? I named a few. I named Alex Fetidov. That's a good example. For advanced Facebook ads, that's a tough question. For advanced Facebook ads, you do kind of need to buy a course, I feel like. Depesh Mandalia, check that guy out. He's amazing. And he released like a really interesting Facebook ads case study for free a few weeks back. And so that's extremely valuable. Should I hold off on drop shipping until after Chinese New Year? Yeah, that'd be a good idea, but don't just like hold off completely. Just get ready. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do to get ready. You can, you can start making new ads. You can find products to test. You can build your store. You can optimize your store. You can prepare the interest that you're going to test. The number one thing I would tell you to focus on is just start testing, like start creating a bunch of different ads. And you can even test them PPE right now because realistically, you're not going to get that many sales with PPE. So do you think picture ads still work? Yeah, picture ads always worked. They never didn't work. It's just for drop shipping. Everyone recommends video ads, including myself, because a lot of the drop shipping products need to be explained, right? You need to explain what, like the benefits of the product, or if it's a problem-solving product, you need to explain what the problem is and then offer the solution. And so video ads work best for that. But if your product is like straightforward, doesn't need to be explained, like a t-shirt or something, like you really don't need video ads. And so in that case, picture ads work great. And especially like lifestyle content, like lifestyle photos with like a model wearing your shirt or something like that. And yeah, you want to test different things with image ads too, like the contrast in the image. That's something that I've read a lot about. If you like high contrast images tend to work a lot better for like click-through rate and stuff like that. So that's something you can test. Do you explain manual bidding in my course? Yeah, I go over it a little bit. It's not like the main point of focus. My course, if for the people who are just tuning in now and who don't know about the course yet, it's not a typical A to Z course. It's a case study. So I show you exactly how I started a store in July 2018 and scaled it to $1 million in sales. So I reveal the store and I take you into everything that I did to accomplish that. And so I break down the whole process of, how I picked the product, how I made the store, how I started the ads, how I made the ads, how I scaled them, how I ran the customer service and the fulfillment. And I show you everything with real examples. So it's not just like lectures, me talking about how things work. I actually show you examples. And so, yeah, I do touch a little bit on manual bidding, but it's mostly just me showing you like how I used manual bidding for that store. Where can I find the course? So the course isn't launched yet. It's launching tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. And so if you want to get a $100 discount when it does launch tomorrow, make sure to join the waitlist. It's the link in the description. Would you do a live workshop, Toronto maybe? Yeah, maybe that's something I would do in the future. That'd be cool to meet some of you guys. And yeah, that's something I haven't really thought about that yet. I've been super busy, but that's something that I would be open to doing in the future. Yeah, if there's a lot of demand for it. These questions are going so fast. It's hard to like even see. Best approach for ads when starting. So this depends on your budget, in my opinion. This really depends on your budget. So best approach, in my opinion, what I usually do when I start a new product is I'll run TV to get social proof and data, and then I'll start building lookalikes based off that, and then get more data with those lookalikes, and then get, build more lookalikes. That's usually what I do. I scale really with lookalike audiences. I think it's the best way with Facebook ads. And if you have a lower budget, Instagram influencers. And then I talk about that in the course, how you can do that, because I did it with that store. And so I show you exactly how I did it with that store. Does your course cover how to build a social media for a brand? Not in depth. I show you how I set up the social media pages for that store and like what I consider the minimum that you should be doing to set up your pages right before you run promotions. So I do that, but I don't like go in depth about long-term social media page building. No, that's not a focus of the course. Can I rewatch the course after it's done? Yeah, it's not like a live thing. It's a membership website. Like it's in modules and there's videos, and you can log on anytime and rewatch it anytime you want. How do you manage refunds or damaged products? So I use a drop shipping agent, and if there's damaged products, I can pass that on to him, and so I'll get a refund from him, and then I'll refund the customers. So that's how I handle it. I'll usually offer to resend it first, right? I prefer resending it than refunding. So I'll be like, hey, we're really sorry about that. And sometimes I'll offer like a 50% off refund. I'll say, hey, well, I'll refund you 50% off and we'll resend you a free product or something like that. And then I get a refund from my agent since he sent a damaged product. Same thing with like tracking numbers that don't work. You can get refunds. How do you manage cash flows? Yeah, that's a good question. So how I manage cash flows, basically I'll use a credit card to pay for my ads. So then I can get like credit card rewards. And then I'll have a US dollar account and a Canadian dollar account since I'm in Canada. And then I'll have everything come out to my US dollar account. So all the Shopify payments, all the PayPal, I withdraw that to my US dollar account because I don't want to get currency exchange fees because they don't tell you that, but the banks and Shopify, like they won't give you the real exchange rate. They take about like 2.7%, something like that, 3% off the exchange rate. And so you end up losing a lot of money. So I connect it directly to my US dollar bank account to withdraw money. And then with that money, I pay my supplier. So I wire transfer money from the US dollar bank account to my supplier to pay for the fulfillment. And I'll use that account to pay off my credit card as well. So cash flow is not that complicated. How much is your course? I've already answered that, but it's $297, and it's going to be there's going to be a $100 discount for 24 hours tomorrow when it launches if you're on the wait list. All right, let's see. Can I use only PayPal as a payment method and use your strategy? That's a tough question. I mean, I know like Ivy Zoo, he's another dropshipping YouTuber. He said that he like did his like first store with just PayPal, and he was able to have good success. So I guess you can, but I mean, I would definitely recommend having PayPal. I mean, I would definitely recommend having a payment, a credit card processor as well. Gabriel, best piece of advice you've ever received? That's a good question. Probably to just be consistent and be good at what you do, and people start noticing. You know, when I was starting out with this personal brand, I really did not expect to get the kind of results, like the kind of growth that I saw on the channel. By the way, we hit 60K subs today, which is amazing, and I'm really grateful for that. And thank you all for supporting me. Really appreciate that. But yeah, that was the best piece of advice. Like I was starting my personal brand, and someone told me, like, man, just be consistent and be good at what you do, and people will start noticing. And it's really true. People did start noticing, and that was really good advice for me. So that's probably the best piece of advice I've ever received, I would say. Can you make 100K a month with a high quality general store? Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, there's a bunch of people who are doing it. It's not the strategy that I recommend, but general stores still work. It's just, in my opinion, it's harder. How much money from YouTube? Quite a bit. I mean, on the ad revenue, it's actually pretty good. The ad revenue for dropshipping is like really high because we have like, there's a bunch of people selling courses on my videos now. And so they're willing to pay a lot for the ads. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's like $200, $300 a day just from YouTube ads. Hey, Gabriel, how do you find private dropshipping agents? You can search on Upwork. Upwork's good for that. You can sort by the amount they earned and then contact them. You can also search in Facebook groups, or you can just DM me and I'll let you know the one that I use if you have enough orders. To be honest, I've been getting so many of those DMs and I haven't been replying in a while because there's just too many. I'll try to catch up on that. But also I show you exactly how I do it with the dropshipping agent. I show you that in the course, and I give you the link right away in the course, like the contact of the agent, and I show you exactly how to set that up. So that's another reason why you might be interested in the course. Did you get a mentor? No, I didn't. A lot of people say mentors are essential. That might be true for a lot of people. Nothing against mentors. I think they're great. But personally, my best mentor was just, learning from analyzing the competition. Gabriel, can you tell us the price of the eCom blueprint? Yeah, so it's $297, but it's going to be $100 off tomorrow if you're on the wait list. So join the wait list. Link is in the description. Is there any habits we should get used to? Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of habits. Habits are really powerful. Habits that you should get used to is optimizing your ads every day, creating new audience, testing new audiences every day. Maybe testing, like creating new ads every week, something like that. Those are some good dropshipping habits. Communicating with your team, maybe. I mean, it really depends on this situation. You have a partner? No. Everything I do, like all my businesses are 100% owned by me. I don't have a partner. I do, when in a lot of my videos, I say like we sometimes, and people think that I have a partner, or like that it's not 100% my stores. Everything's 100% my stores. I just say we because, I have like a team. I have VAs who do a lot of the work. And so it just comes out naturally. I just say we. Did you start an LLC? So I didn't start an LLC, but I started a corporation, which is the same thing pretty much in Canada. It's the Canadian equivalent. It's like limited liability if anything, if I get sued or something. Why are you sharing this info? I'm sharing this info to build this personal brand and to bring together a community of entrepreneurs. And yeah, I mean, obviously in the end, I'm going to be able to monetize this. Like, for example, I'm launching my course tomorrow. I'm going to make money with that. So that's another incentive. But I mean, I genuinely just like building a community, having this, and also just for networking. I mean, it's amazing. The amount of people I've met the past few months, thanks to the YouTube channel, has been unreal. So, and I mean, there's enough like products that get sold online to go around, right? Like I don't think sharing this information is going to affect me in any way whatsoever. Gabriel, does making blogs work? If you're talking about like doing like SEO for e-commerce, it works, but you need to have like a very narrow niche. So like, I mean, it's definitely not something that you're going to see fast results with. Like long-term consistency can work. Like, for example, a good example is this. There's a store. It's called, I think it's Magnet with a Z. So magnets with a Z.dk or something like that. You can search that on Google. Maybe that's not exactly what it is, but basically it's like a magnet store in Denmark. And so all they do is they sell like all these different magnets in Denmark, and they rank their website with like blog articles about magnets. And so they're doing 6 figures with just SEO. There's no ad cost, and it's just by people searching about magnets online in Denmark. And then so that's like a good example. But if you're doing like a really broad product, SEO is really competitive, and blogs won't get you ranked. Is your course for beginners? No, definitely not. It's not for beginners. I don't cover a lot of the basics. So, I mean, you should at least watch I have like a playlist on my channel. It's called Free Course Playlist. And I have, like 10 videos or something in there. And you should at least watch those videos and understand them. If you don't understand something, Google it. Like a lot of people don't realize that you can just Google things. Just Google it. You'll find the answers really quickly. And then once you understand at least that free course playlist, then maybe like that, I think that's the point at which you're qualified to join the course. Beginners to get the course because there's, I don't cover a lot of the complete beginner stuff. Do you go over email marketing in the course? Yeah, I go over it really quickly, not in depth. I just show you how I did it for this store that did $1 million in sales. Hey, Gabe, what's your IQ? I don't know. I haven't gotten that like officially tested. So, Gabe, how many hours a week do you work on your 3 stores? Not that much, to be honest. I've been working on the course lately and on the YouTube videos quite a lot. Like an hour a day, 2 hours a day. What do you need to do for a business bank account in Canada? You need to have a business. Simple as that. And then you can just open your business bank account. If you can also be a sole proprietor, then you can just open another personal account because sole proprietorship is the same thing as basically being an individual. And so you can just create a separate bank account, but like a personal bank account, and then use that as your business account. Gabe, do you believe in product saturation? I mean, I believe in it. Like, it's not like a fake magical thing, product saturation. Like, yeah, products do get saturated in the sense that a lot of people are selling them, but I don't believe in the fact that product saturation is like a deal breaker, that you can't sell any saturated product. As you'll see if you join the case study, the product that I was selling is considered very saturated, but it's all about building like something around it, focusing on and doing better than the people who are already selling it. Like if there's a product that's super saturated, you've got like dozens of general stores selling it, and they're focusing on that product, but they're a general store, right? And they're also testing like 10 other products, but you just create a store around that one product. You focus 100% around it. And, you create a bunch of different ads for just that product. You focus 100% on that product. You're going to be, you should definitely beat those other guys who are just focusing like 1/10 of their energy on that product, right? If you focus 100% on that energy. So it's really about doing better than the existing competition. And when you have a product that's saturated, what it means is that people are buying it. There's a lot of demand for it. So that's how you got to see it. You got to see it as demand and then figure out what can I do to do better than the existing competitors. Did you think about selling beauty charcoal? Yeah, I did. I mean, that would have been a really good move. I should have done it while I was still killing it. Now it would be a bit harder. But the reason I didn't do it was because my accounting was all a mess. I didn't have an accountant yet. And so, I didn't have all the numbers like properly organized to show to potential buyers. But I could have made a lot selling beauty charcoal. So, any recommendation for a Canadian fulfillment center? No, sorry, I haven't used any Canadian fulfillment center. The only fulfillment center I've used is ShipBob. I have 10K to start this. If I follow your example, will it work for me? I mean, I can't guarantee that it'll work for you, right? Like there's no way I can guarantee that. But 10K is definitely enough to start. I mean, that's more than enough to really focus in on a product and test all the different angles and all the different audiences. Taxes. So taxes is, I don't know if you're talking about sales tax. Sales tax really depends for where you're based. In my case, I only charge taxes to Canadians. If you're talking about like income tax, the key to income tax is really just not withdrawing to the personal side. So you want to have like an LLC, like you want to have a business and then keep all your money in the business and like live off as little as possible. So like, that's why I don't spend a lot of money, right? Like you guys don't see me flexing like supercars or anything like that. It's because I keep all my money in the business and I don't withdraw that much to personal. Do you register all brands under that same company? Yeah. So I'll have all my companies under that same company, and then I'll register trade names. Gabriel, is jewelry a smart niche to sell in? Yeah, if you're good at it. It's not the type of niche that I sell in. As most of you know, I focus on problem-solving products. So, I mean, jewelry is a good niche, but it's all about like having nice jewelry at that point. You can do print-on-demand jewelry. That's a good one. That's a good way to differentiate yourself, I guess. Or, I mean, yeah, jewelry is good, especially like around Valentine's Day. A lot of people do like Instagram influencers with like Valentine's Day jewelry. That works really well. Do you have some advice on how to keep going and not quit when losing money? Yeah, my best advice would be stop like trying to test like a ton of different things at once. Like focus on a proven method, something that you know is working, and then really go all in on that. But don't be stupid about the way you spend your money. Like don't jump on every product you test. That's like a big thing for me too, that a lot of people don't understand, is how I test like so few products and how I've had such a good success rate testing products. The truth is I've gotten that success rate testing products by being very selective about what I test. And so I don't test a lot of products. Like most people test like multiple products a week. I test like one product every like 2-3 months. And so that's what I would say. I would say be very selective about what you test, what you choose to go into, and how you spend your money. And then learn as much as you can. Never stop learning. Like set a goal to like read like one blog post or like watch one video or something every day or something, just so you keep learning. Do you make yourself the video ads for your products? Yeah, I'll make them with Animoto. Do you invest in real estate? So I haven't invested in real estate yet, but that's something I definitely want to get into long term. Like I've been learning a lot about it recently. I want to get into like rental properties, and so that's something that I'm probably going to do soon, as soon as I free up some time. But definitely, like real estate's awesome. You might see some videos on my channel. I mean, I wonder if some people would be interested in that. I've been thinking as I start, as I keep leveling up, I guess, as I start, moving on to bigger businesses, like, as I start doing more legit branded e-commerce and I start investing in real estate. And I'm also interested in stock trading. I do a lot of trading in my free time. And so, I was wondering if you guys would ever be interested in some content like that on my channel. Who has good blogs to read? There's a ton, man. You just got to search on Google. I mentioned a few earlier. Alex Fedotov, Depeche, Mandalia. Hi, Gabe. Did you have a problem with PayPal when you scaled? No, I've never had problems with PayPal. I mean, they've asked for documents before. They've asked to see like my business registration. They've asked to see some tracking numbers, and but they've never held money or anything like that. And as soon as I showed them the info that they asked for, they let me go. Fine. Glad to see that some people seem interested in the stocks and the real estate. That's awesome. Gabriel, would you recommend selling watches for a beginner? Absolutely not. Definitely not. That's that's honestly probably the number one way I see people failing with drop shipping is they'll just start like a watch store. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Gabriel, is there a best time of day to post ads? If you're talking about Facebook ads, you wanna publish them. You want them to start at the midnight time for your ad account. And if you're talking about Instagram influencer ads, in my experience, it's like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern. If I know nothing about dropshipping, can I learn and profit from your course? Not like you can, if, especially if you're a smart dude. Like if you're smart and you can learn fast by, analyzing the case study that I'm going to be showing you. If you can learn by analyzing what worked for me, like essentially I'm not going to be showing a lot of the stuff like setting up your store like step by step, setting up like your shipping zones, things like that. So if that's what you're looking for, then that's not what you're going to get with the course. But I mean, you will see a concrete example of step by step what you need to do each step of the way. So it could be a good add-on to your journey, right? Like if you're learning from like free YouTube content and stuff, but you just want to see each step of the way what I did, then that would be good. What do you think about testimonial videos as advertisements? That can work great, especially for retargeting. Like not for cold traffic, but for retargeting, testimonials are great. Gabriel, how many stores do you own right now? I've answered that. I've got 3 running right now, but I only focus on 1 at a time. So, do you consider dropshipping to be your one thing? That's a good question, man. I wouldn't say so. I would say e-commerce. I think e-commerce is what I've decided is my one thing. And so I really want to go all out in e-commerce. And that's why you don't see me posting that many videos like on my channel. Like I try to be consistent with 1 a week, but I don't want to post like every day because like if I post every day, I don't have time to focus on e-commerce and I'm going to get behind, right? And if you guys want to get like the latest info all the time, like I can't post all the time. I need to spend the majority of my time working on e-commerce and then share my experiences with you guys. And so that's what I've been trying to do. And so I've been spending a lot of time on the course these past few weeks. But I'm really excited to just go back and, start going all in e-commerce again because, I would say e-commerce is my one thing. Should I talk to an accountant before incorporating? That's a good idea if you're not sure what corporation you should get. But I mean, if you're already doing big numbers, like I didn't incorporate until I was starting to make like 10K a month net profit, something like that. Because at that point you can really save a lot on taxes. Gabriel, do you play video games? I used to. I played a lot of video games back in the day. I played like a lot of League of Legends, like I played Minecraft, things like that. But nowadays, no. I had like a little phase not too long ago. I was playing Fortnite with a lot of my friends from university and stuff like that, but not anymore. Like it's just such a waste of time. So, have you ever scaled with Shopify payments? Yeah, I mean, Shopify payments is the main thing that I use, and same thing as PayPal. They ask for information. They ask for documents, for tracking numbers, but once you provide everything, they're okay. A lot of people say you get like a 25% reserve or something like that. That's not what happened in my experience at all. I've never had any money held back by Shopify payments. MBTI type. I'm an INTP. So yeah, it kind of oscillates. Like sometimes I get ENTP, sometimes I get INTP. So I guess it switches if I'm like an introvert or an extrovert. Do you read? Yeah, I read quite a bit. I try to read every day. Every morning, I try to read 15 pages. Right now, I'm reading this book called Psycho-Cybernetics. It's like about self-image and stuff, so it's pretty interesting. And I mentioned earlier, my favorite book is The Slight Edge. Just an amazing book. Gabriel, is dropshipping beginning to be saturated? Yeah, I mean, in the sense that there's a lot of people doing it. Yeah, it's saturated in that sense. But most people are doing the same thing. So it's kind of like there's like this barrier to entry where like there's like this swarm of people doing the same thing and like not getting results. And like that's where like the majority of people are. And then the actual people who are making it work, that part isn't saturated because everyone, like not that many people are making it work. So, I mean, like, yeah, it's saturated, but if you get past like that initial hump, like it's all good. You said that in order to scale, you need 30 to 40% profit on low ad spend. What do you consider low ad spend? Low ad spend is, that's a good question. I guess I should have specified that. Probably like under like 500 500, 1,000 a day. Let's see. We've already been going for 52 minutes. This is awesome. Really appreciate everyone tuning in, guys. Like 1.3K people watching lives. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I'm not used to doing lives like this. So really glad that everyone showed up. Gabriel, could we contact you personally if we buy your course? So if you buy the course, there's going to be a private group on Facebook with me and all the other course members, and that's going to be the best place to reach me from now on. Like, I'm still going to try to engage in my free group once in a while, but just to be fair to the people who paid for the course, I'm going to start engaging more in that group. And so that's going to be the best place to reach me. And so you will be able to engage with me there. Now, I'm not promising that I'm going to reply to every single question, because I think, there's going to be a lot of posts in that group, but I will try my best to engage with it every day. And also, it's going to be a great separation. Like right now, the free group, I'm sure, if you're in the group, it's extremely active, and we have I think there's 18,000 members or something, close to 20,000. And so the result is that a lot of the questions are just repetitive and beginner oriented. And so this is going to be a good separation of the people who are really serious about their business versus the people who are just kind of playing around. And so the group should be a very good learning environment. If an ad set is not profitable, all the sales are coming from 65 plus age, would you duplicate the ad set with 65 plus only? It's a good question. It depends, man. If that ad set is if all the sales came from 65 plus, but you didn't get a lot of delivery to that. The thing, if you're targeting something like 65 plus, is that you're going to get such a smaller audience. And so the performance is going to be totally different, right? Totally different. And so you can narrow it down to 65 plus if you want, but you're not going to get the same results because that audience is going to be a lot narrower. So when narrowing works really well is if you're getting a lot of results for specific age range or country or whatever, and it's profitable. And that's when you should focus in on that. But if you're getting a few results and it's extremely profitable, that's not really statistically significant. Can I get the link in the chat? Just check the description, man. How do I find a good accountant? You can search locally. I found mine on Upwork. Sorry. And so, you just want to make sure that they're a certified professional accountant, right? And that really helps when they go to file your taxes. If you have a certified professional accounnt, a CPA on file when you do your taxes, it's way less likely that you're going to get audited or something like that. How old are you? I'm 20. Gabriel, what is the optimal price of a drop shipping product? Most of my winners have been in the $15 to the $35 range. I would say the optimal price is probably $25, honestly. But for e-commerce, that's for drop shipping products, but for e-commerce, if you want to build a legit e-commerce brand, higher ticket products can work really well. Yeah, $70, $80, $100 plus. The steps you show in your course work in 2019. Yeah, it's a method that pretty much no one shows. So it definitely it's optimized for 2019. If anything, it's the opposite of what everyone's doing. So, how many people? There's so many people stealing other people's ads. Is there a way to protect the ad? Yeah, the best way would be to watermark it, not just a logo in the top right, because if you do that, people are just going to overlay that with tag someone who needs this, or they're just going to overlay their logo on top with a solid square. So best way is to have a transparent, not transparent, but 30% opacity watermark right in the center of the video. And that way, I'll usually put the URL, not even just the logo, I'll put the URL so that literally if they want to advertise and steal my ad, then they're going to have to promote my website as a side effect. What are your long-term goals? My long-term goals. So number one is to build a very successful e-commerce business, that's consistent, year over year, that consistently generates profits and that I could get an exit on. So that's definitely my number one goal. And then a secondary goal is to just keep growing this personal brand, keep growing the community around my channel, and eventually diversify from just drop shipping on this channel, right? Drop shipping is awesome, but I'm probably not going to be doing drop shipping my whole life. And so I really hope that I can find a way to keep this community alive without just making drop shipping content like I have been these past few months. Did you hear about e-residency? Yeah, I've heard about that. That's a really smart way to save on taxes. A lot of people are doing that to be honest, I haven't really set up like a good system to minimize my taxes. What I do is I just keep all the money in my business, and then I try to keep it in the business instead of withdrawing to personal side and paying a lot of taxes. Hey Gabriel, just wondering what your day looks like now. It's not that exciting, to be honest. What it looks like, I'll usually wake up, and then first thing I'll do is I'll read a bit, then I'll shower, then I'll go on my computer, start working. So like past few days I've been working on the course, and then after that, optimizing my ads, things like that, and then making videos. I've been traveling a lot lately, which is nice. Right now I'm in Toronto. I'm in like an Airbnb. I'm thinking about moving soon. Like right now I still live in the town in London, Ontario. That's where I went to school, and I dropped out, and like my lease is finally going to be over in May. Yeah, in May. So then I'm looking for somewhere else to move. I'm thinking Toronto. And so I'm in an Airbnb right now. I'm gonna, once I launch the course, I'm gonna have a bit more time, and then I'm gonna go look for apartments. What do you study? I did study software engineering for 2 years, but I dropped out. So all right, we've already been going for 58 minutes, so I'm gonna call it quits pretty soon. I'm gonna answer a few more questions. But thank you for everyone who came out. I really appreciate it. What's a good cost per conversion on a $30 product? I mean, it depends on your selling price. I mean, just figure out the break-even ROAS, anything below. Figure out the break-even cost per purchase, and then anything below that cost per purchase, you're good. Aren't you worried everyone who buys the course will copy your product? Yeah, I mean, that's something I've just accepted. Like I'm focusing on a new brand, so I don't really care. Like like I said, I like to focus on one store at a time, right? That's how I get the best results. And so I'm focusing on this new brand right now. And so, I mean, yeah, that the store that I reveal in the case study is 100% going to get copied, but it's all good. Yo, hi Gabriel. What's your impression on very large retail stores for drop shipping? I have a website with 800 plus products. That's like the opposite of what I recommend, to be honest. Like if you're doing that, you have to keep in mind that you're basically just competing with Amazon, right? Like, and it's just not really viable. Like unless you have like a special, like some value to offer, right? Like if it's just a bunch of products, like you're literally just competing with Amazon, and so it's gonna be tough, man. Thanks for all the love in the chat. I really appreciate that. When should you switch to purchase objective? As soon as you're trying to get purchases, man. Like a lot of people think I use PPE for like the testing phase, and I used PPE to get data and to get video views and to get social proof. But as soon as I'm trying to get purchases, I switch to purchase conversion, right? So I mean, right away, as soon as you want to get purchases, switch to purchase conversions. Making videos and streaming takes a lot of time you could use to create more 200K in 5 months dropship sites. Why the fuck are you, oh, sorry, why are you doing this? Does it make you that much more? Why am I doing this? Well, first of all, I want to build a community, like I said. So, it's going well so far. I can meet a lot of great people. I can monetize this too as well. I'm going to launch the course tomorrow, and that should do well. And it's less, to be honest with you guys, it's a lot less work than drop shipping in terms of the return on my time I'm probably going to get. So that's that too. But it's the main reason I'm doing this is because I've always wanted a personal brand. I've always wanted a community that I can talk to, engage with, and just for networking. Like I said, networking has been amazing. Like I've met so many people just in like these like 3 months since my channel's blown up. Hey Gabriel, can I drop ship cosmetic products from AliExpress? Yeah, you can do that. You might have a few problems. Like if it's a liquid product and you're trying to get like fast shipping out of China, that's going to be tough. But yeah. Will there be a record of this? Yeah, I'm going to post this on my channel for you guys. Well done. So you go straight from PPE, create lookalike audiences, and then purchase conversions. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah. And so if I test interest, that's going to be with purchase conversions right away. All right. Let's see if I'm going to answer like 3 more questions. It's already been an hour, and there's like so many questions, and I can go on forever. So I'm going to answer 3 more questions, and then I'm going to call it quits. And so let's pick 3 good questions. Gabriel, did you use an upsell app for the store you're revealing in the course? What's the name of it? What Shopify theme do you use for your store? So that's a few questions. Did I use an upsell app? Yes. The name of it, you're gonna have to get the course you're gonna have to buy the course to figure that out. And what Shopify theme do I use for my stores? I use Debut. So that was a pretty bad question. Let me see if I can find some better ones. Does it make a difference if you make ad adjustments and launch new ad sets at midnight versus early in the morning? Not really, man. Like, you can do it in the morning. That's fine. Just not too late. Like, if you do it when there's only 5 hours left in the day, then it's going to rush through that spend and it's not going to get good results. Why are you undercutting yourself selling at $297 with a discount to $197? Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Like, to be honest with you guys, like, I talked to a lot of other guys who sell courses, and a lot of them actually told me that I was making a really bad decision by selling it this cheap, and they might be right, but I wanted to make it accessible. I mean, and another thing is, it's not that long, so it's extremely value packed. Don't get me wrong, but it's not that long, and so I just wanted to give you guys a fair price and make it accessible to my subscribers. I mean, I could have definitely charged more, and pretty much everyone told me I should charge a lot more. So that was another question. Is dropshipping in the Netherlands a good idea? Yeah, it could be a great idea, man. Like I was saying earlier, for some of you that weren't on the stream yet, if you build a store, it's like specific for one country that has a high GDP per capita and a relatively large population, and that has a language barrier. So like the Netherlands or like Denmark or Norway or France, if you make a store in that language and you focus only on that country, you can get really, really great results. I mean, I know some people who are doing insane numbers with that strategy. All right, so this is going to be the last question I answer, guys. So how do you solve this issue? I've been giving micro-influencers products for free in exchange for videos. 80% of them just run off of the free products or take 5 months to get the video made. So that's a good question, man. That's a really good question. To be honest, the thing with micro-influencers, and I talk about this in the course too, is that micro-influencers don't really want to work with you if you're drop shipping, right? It's tough, man, because you have to put yourself in their shoes, right? First of all, they have this audience that they worked really hard to build, and they don't want to disappoint their audience. They want to be honest with their audience. And so when you first reach out to them, they might be thinking that this is just like a real brand, and it's going to be, it's a great collaboration opportunity. And then they get the product from China. It's like a low quality product. It's disappointing. And so they just don't want to post for you anymore. And so a lot of the time they're just going to ignore you after that. And so that's one of the reasons why I talk more about page influencers versus personal influencers for dropshipping, is that it's tough to get micro influencers to work with you dropshipping. I mean, it's possible, and I've done it. And I show an example in the course of that, of a post that I did with micro influencers that did 10K in sales, and I didn't have to pay anything for it. And so, I mean, that's another cool thing in the course. All right, so I'll answer one more question just because there's so many, and I really appreciate all you guys tuning in. I mean, this has been awesome. I was really nervous about the live stream. You guys might have seen that at the start. I was pretty anxious just because, I mean, there's a lot of people not used to this, but I mean, it's awesome. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. So I'm going to pick one last question. So when testing products, do you try to hold out until you find something that's early on the trend, or do you go ahead and test things that have been working for over a year? So like I said, I'm very picky about the products that I test. So I will try to find something that's early in the trend. Now, products do go through cycles. So if there's something that blew up lately, if something blew up a while back, so like a year ago, and then it had like a downtrend, and then you see that it's starting to uptrend again, and there's not a lot of competition, that's also another good scenario of when you could get into a product, right? Like after the hype died down and like not a lot of people are trying to sell it, but it's still like a proven product, it still solves a big problem, something like that, that's a good product to test. And so, yeah, I would definitely recommend though that you do try to get in early on the trend, right? Or else it's going to be like fidget spinners. You're going to, like people who made stores for fidget spinners, they made a killing for like a month and then it was all over. So yeah. All right. I mean, that's the last question I'm going to order. That's the last question I'm going to answer. Thanks a lot to everyone who tuned in. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And if you haven't yet, I'm just going to do a quick plug for the course. If you haven't yet, make sure to join the wait list. It's going to be extremely a super valuable course, and you're going to get a massive discount if you join the wait list. So definitely join the wait list. And yeah, quick pitch for the course. It's not your typical A to Z course. It's a case study where I reveal a store that I scaled to $1 million in sales in just 5 months. And I reveal everything about it, and I take you step by step with real examples on how you can do the same thing. So definitely check out the waitlist if you haven't yet. It's going to be launching tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the course. And once again, thanks to everyone who tuned in. I hope that I'm probably going to do a lot more of these live streams in the future because it's been awesome. So yeah, thanks everyone. I really appreciate you tuning in. All right, bye.